our buddies and we like to play games in the new Bear Buddies.
Hello and welcome back. Pete's just killed himself. Excellent.
In-game.
Good.
Don't worry.
Yeah. It's fine. It's all good. Oh my gosh. Jesus fucking yeah, what were we talking about? We were talking about Star Wars last time.
Talking about Star Wars.
We were about to. I was talking about Star Wars. So which one are you watching next?
So next we will watch Empire Strikes Back.
Cool. Oh, hang on. So which ones have you seen so far?
So we've done. We started with Force Awakens.
Yes.
Just because pacing wise, it's a bit
easier,
and then we went to A New Hope. So we're going to watch.
Right. Okay.
We'll watch them in
gotcha.
release order.
Gotcha. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. Nice. Excellent.
So I'm.
Are you going to watch the spin-off ones as well, or are you going to leave those until the end, or? As in
like Rogue One and stuff.
Rogue One and Solo and is there any others?
Probably.
I feel like there's probably another, but.
I think they're the only spin-off films, but there's been series. So I think we'll probably watch The Mandalorian.
Yes, Mando is good.
And I think we'll watch Rogue One and Solo.
Gonna watch Mando and fuck.
Oh fuck, I'm dead.
Oh shit.
I really enjoyed Solo. I thought it was fun. So I'm kind of excited to watch that again.
Solo, definitely. Yeah. I'd quite like to see Rogue One again. I don't think I've seen that since it came. Pretty much since it came out.
I remember when Solo came out, everyone was like, "This is the worst fucking film I've ever seen," and I went to see it thinking like, "Oh god, it's going to be bad," and I was like, I had a good time. I thought it was it was a solid film. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it wasn't the best film I'd ever seen, but I thought it was like a really fun space western. And
yes, absolutely.
I was kind of like, what else did you expect from?
Absolutely. Quite. Oh. I keep forgetting with the airplane that you can just hold down the dash button. Like it's not like when you're playing as Cuphead that you have to.
Can you hold down the dash button?
You can just hold it down and you can just keep going. Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Like,
that's gonna make things a lot easier.
Makes a big difference.
Jeez, okay.
Take that.
Noted.
Come on. God damn it. Fucking damn it.
Yeah, I'm interested to watch Rise of Skywalker again, because I think I will hate it less now that I know what to expect.
Oh, sure. Okay.
But we'll see.
Oh, God.
Oh, you've got your big one.
I've got my goose. I've got my goose. Right, come on. Please die. Okay. No. Oh, okay. It's easy. Like
you got this. You got this, Pete.
It's so easy.
Oh
no! Oh okay. God! This episode is happening.
We got close.
How many episodes did we do?
Stay alive.
It's not that difficult. Just gotta concentrate. It's a really difficult one with Rise of Skywalker because we were talking about it on the show before, but like there's so many great moments in that film, so many wonderful moments and so many wonderful ideas, and yet there's so many. It's just so, kind of like encapsulated in like just a really shite way of ending the saga. I don't know.
Yeah. There's that meme that's always online now as well. Have you seen about the somehow Palpatine returned?
Yeah.
Which is a genuine line in the film.
Like,
I don't know. We can only think so hard about this.
It's ridiculous. It's like
somehow he's back.
Somehow he returned. Yeah, and like they said it in the film, and it's. Did they I'm trying to remember now. I think they said it in the title crawl, and I think like
Oscar Isaac says
Poe.
it. Yeah, Poe
says it. It's like, somehow he's back. Oh, I can't imagine how that happened.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just like
it's just one of those things of like you can't have the payoff without the setup, really.
Yeah.
And they have like
exactly.
They try and do all the payoffs, but there's no, people were not happy with the franchise because of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, again, I can see why like there were bits of Last Jedi again that weren't as good, but there were also lots of it that were actually really, really freaking great.
Yeah, it legitimately, and people are gonna like unsubscribe for this. It legitimately might be my favorite Star Wars film.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough.
Aside from
yes.
there was some bits of like humor that I was like, this doesn't really fit in with Star Wars, but I was also like, how much can you blame Rian Johnson for a film that he's being overseen in making? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Which I also think about the franchise. I'm like, don't get pissed at the directors. Get pissed at the producers.
It's definitely like a sort of making film by committee kind of thing. And I guess like
I'm dead.
I can see why. It's all right. I've got you.
Thank you.
I know why like they did it like that, because like it's Star Wars. Like there's so much riding on it. Like you have to sort of have lots of people involved, because it's too much for one person to do. Fuck. Oh, Jesus. But at the same time, like, I guess it's the having the overarching plan that didn't happen with that sequel trilogy.
Right.
It's a shame.
Because I feel like, for me, what they did, or maybe what they planned to do, was be like, let's make a new Star Wars trilogy, but we'll have 3 amazing directors come in and direct each one, so they'll all have their own styles, but they'll be the same characters, the new trilogy. But it felt like they were like, oh, we won't communicate with the directors what the plan is, though. We'll kind of let them build their own story, which is great for one film, because J.J. Abrams goes, well, here's a film idea. He's like, maybe Finn's going to be a stormtrooper who turns out to be a Jedi in the end. There's this new Jedi called Rey, who's like a super interesting character. We know she's got some mysterious origin. J.J. Abrams, the director and writer, know what the origin is, but no one else does, obviously. And then they go like, we've got Rian Johnson for the next one. Great, he's going to make his own style, which he 100% did, love it or hate it. And then they were like, well, we won't tell Rian Johnson J.J. Abrams playing, because only J.J. Abrams knows what was going on in that film. So, all these things that he's set up.
I mean, I wonder
Rian Johnson.
I guess you never know, like, sort of what was choice and what was oh shit. Sorry.
What was planned?
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, sort of whether Rian Johnson decided, actually, I don't want to do J.J. Abrams' plan, and like vice versa, or whether it was, I don't know. Who knows?
Which I think is very possible. I think. I think one thing I really like about Rian Johnson as a director, I think why I love Knives Out so much, is he's so good at subverting kind of everything. And I think he clearly like looked at everything that J.J. Abrams had set up and gone, I want a lot of this to actually be subversion, like Snoke. Being like, well, they're going to kill Snoke because obviously you're going to come in and think Snoke's
the big bad,
survive this and whatever. And I really enjoyed that, and I know a lot of people hated it, but I really enjoyed that they were like, nope, Snoke was super easy to kill.
I thought that was an interesting idea, definitely.
Yeah, because
It like
then it puts
changes things up.
Kylo Ren in this position of like,
Yes.
well,
Holy crap! Now I'm the big bad.
that's what I really liked about it, was that he clearly was not didn't
ready.
want to be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was just a kind of a troubled kid that was trying to make sense of like everything that was happening, and I thought that was great, and I thought it was a really clever way to be like, shit, what now?
Yeah.
And some really great moments of being like, well, you thought this thing, not anymore, because they had this whole connection between Kylo and Rey as well, and it was like, well, maybe the whole like balance to the Force thing is not about them being good or bad, it's about them just sort of living in a grey area.
Yeah.
And like he kind of was a bit like, maybe you should question some of your... Sorry, I'll start again.
No, that's fine.
He was like, maybe you should question what you know. And she was like, well, maybe you should question what you know.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool. And there was that awesome fucking Praetorian Guard fight scene.
Oh my gosh.
Between the
so
two of them.
Good. It's got to be like one of the best Star Wars fights.
I've seen stunt fighters breaking it down, and apparently it's not that great from a stage combat perspective,
really?
But there's just like guys in the background like swinging at nothing.
That's hilarious. I mean,
I honestly do not care because it looks so good.
Or something. Yeah, it does. It just feels great. Like
that whole scene is epic. But that's that whole thing about like them taking down like the establishment together.
Yeah.
And it is that whole thing of like, well, what do we do now if we've both like decided that... I don't know, I just thought it was really interesting to be like, there's not necessarily a dark side and a light side anymore because we've destroyed it. There's kind of this space in between.
The idea of the dark side and the light side is ludicrous. It's like nothing in real life works like that. Everything is shades of grey.
Right, and you've seen 6 films and spin-off and however many series where that's the case.
Yeah.
So I thought it was such a good move to be like, maybe we just get rid of that.
Actually,
and I don't know what the plan was onwards from that, but I like that he was like, because I do kind of think J.J. Abrams' trilogy, if he'd made all 3, would have been great if The Force Awakens is anything to go by. But it also seems like it was going to be really fucking predictable, in my opinion.
Well, and indeed it was. Like it was. I mean, yeah. I guess that's like sort of like Force Awakens was a great film, and it's definitely what Star Wars needed. Like something to come home to, essentially, that feels Star Wars. But I guess, you could like the one criticism that people keep bringing up is it was derivative and. So I guess the solution to that is sort of taking it further away and doing something different with it, which is what Warren.
It was also just it was just A New Hope Part 2, essentially. It was like the same film.
Yeah. It was exactly. Yeah. It was
so good entry level, but also like
Yeah.
It was like kind of super lazy writing in a way. Like, okay, and so what if Rey wakes up on a desert planet?
Yeah.
And,
oh my gosh! But it's not Tatooine.
She doesn't have parents. One of the good guys is one of the bad guys' parents.
We got an old mentor who.
But anyway, so I really like that Rian Johnson was like, actually, maybe let's make things more interesting so that instead of being like...
Yeah, absolutely,
you know what's going on, you're actually like, I'm in a familiar setting, but I don't know what's going to happen, which I think is great.
What's going to happen
next? Fuck, I'm dead. Which I think is really clever and really good writing, and I love the... People don't like it, but I like the fight at the end between Luke on the Salt Planet and Kylo, where Kylo is like, fire everything you've got, and he's not there. And,
I thought that was a fun idea. I think my one criticism of that scene was the music at that point. For some reason, I don't think I've ever heard like a Williams score that does this, but it was probably because Williams didn't write it. Maybe it was his team that was just like, I don't know what to write. Let's write something like this. But it was just like da 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 for like 10 minutes or something. And I'm not watching a Star Wars film for like, come on, write something interesting.
Like Tetris.
It was like I don't remember the music. I need to watch it again. Yeah, I mean, you'll next time you watch it, you'll hear it. And it's like, wait a minute, I've been conned.
Also, the whole force projection thing. I remember people on Twitter being like, "Oh, why have you done that? That's not possible." And then Ryan Johnson, who wasn't helping himself on Twitter with the whole backlash.
Oh, sure, he definitely.
He like straight up posted something from a Star Wars lore like book that was like. Well, force projection or whatever is where a character is where a Jedi can. Be somewhere that they're not.
And like, there's a game that I'd love us to do on the show at some point called Jedi Knight. It came out in the 90s, but it was made at LucasArts, and so like heavily inspired by the original Star Wars films, but also creating its own. Creating its own extension of the universe. And that had like force projection and stuff in it. It had a load of different powers that weren't in the films. It was like, oh wow, cool! It's exciting. It's new Star Wars.
But now the internet exists.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
or at least in this form. Yeah,
you can't do that.
But then I think it felt like the team at Star Wars had like. They heard all the backlash from The Last Jedi, and they were like, maybe we should just hire J.J. Abrams back. He's safe. Instead of like sticking to their guns. Yeah. Which is like fine, whatever. But then, in my opinion, because Ryan Johnson had been like, let's subvert all these things that J.J. Abrams set up, because I think from a story writing perspective, they're a bit shit and predictable. J.J. Abrams was like, now how do I reverse everything that Ryan Johnson reversed and double bluff on the audience.
Double reverse. They'll never expect that.
Okay, this is good. We're on good health at the moment.
Yeah.
But so everything that was like mildly subversive from that film is now not subversive anymore.
Not at all.
And
great. Good.
I also really like the setup Ryan Johnson did of like maybe Rey is a no one, and maybe that's okay. Maybe that's more interesting if she's a new character.
I thought that.
And then they were like, nah, she's a Palpatine. Palpatine fucked a woman.
Yeah. Which again is like, it's kind of an interesting story point if like you hadn't in the original trilogy you hadn't gone like. Luke is Vader's son. Fuck. Like you can't have, both. Okay, should we? Let's do one more episode. One more. Come on. Like, one more this episode. And then we'll see if we can.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But I just think that it felt like that's what made it feel really disjointed. And like I feel like maybe Ryan Johnson had plans for like Benicio del Toro's character to come back. You know, the guy who screws them over on the casino planet?
Yeah, that was interesting, yeah.
But I guess J.J. Abrams, maybe, I don't know this for a fact, this is just all based on what I think, but it feels like J.J. Abrams was like, nah, don't like that character, let's get rid of him.
Yeah.
Never again will he show up.
Which, I guess isn't the worst thing.
It's like, fine.
It's fine
sure.
But yeah, it could have been interesting had they had him return in some capacity.
Yeah.
I felt like it would have been nice to see Phasma make a return in like the third one.
Oh my god, she was a wasted character, wasn't she?
Yeah, I don't know. She just felt way too easy to take down. Like,
what a great fucking character she was for them to just be like, well, Bye.
And now she's dead.
Also, that they so teased seeing her without her mask on, like, because it's you know, and then you see like her eye, and that was it, and it was a bit like, okay, alright, fine.
Alright.
Like, let's see. We want to see Gwendolyn Christie. She's an incredible actress. Like, at least show us her face once. See it. Give us some clout. Fuck.
Oh shit! Didn't mean to fire him solid.
And then, fuck, I'm dead.
It's alright. Got you.
Oh, what a save! No,
I killed myself. Oh god. After all that. Joy.
Fuck.
Joy. Okay, alright. Join us next time on Bear Buddies. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Somehow, J.J. Abrams returned.